Hello. Hello, world. Hello, world. Can you hear me? It's the soothing, comforting tone of MMA fighting. Alexander K. Lee here on the UFC Foot Island 7, Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar. Live stream, official weigh-in results. Let you mute from here. Very excited to be here with you guys. Very excited to be here with Jose Youngs on the ground in Abu Dhabi. Jose Youngs, say hello to the world.
Hello, world.
And in the truck and on screen right now, Casey Leiden, best producer in the biz.
Oh, well, good year to you. It is a new year.
Nice.
Apparently,
very classic.
Apparently, it's not 2020 anymore.
It is 4 in the morning over here on the East Coast, 1 a.m. over in Cali, sweet Cali time over in Inglewood, all good in the hood. And there's nowhere else I would rather be. I'm to understand, Jose, over there, it's what, 1 in the afternoon?
It sure is.
Okay, so you got, nice, beautiful mid-afternoon. You're loving life over there, right, Jose?
No, not even a little.
Oh.
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be back on the road, but my fight week started more than a week ago because I had to drive to Vegas, self-quarantine, take tests, fly. So everyone's saying fight week started like, what, Tuesday or Wednesday of this week? Like, no, my fight week has been like 10 days long so far.
It has not been all glitz and glamour for our man on the street, Jose Youngs. Again, he is in glamorous Abu Dhabi, but as we all know, yes, there's all kinds of quarantine rules in place and all kinds of safety measures. So it's not exactly a freewheeling experience.
No technical issues this time. My car is allegedly still safe at the Apex.
That's what they want. That's what they tell you.
We'll see. We'll see about that.
Great. My flight was not great, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it was, as Max Holloway said earlier this week. That was a new one for anyone who you can watch the media day on our YouTube, and all the great top fighters are there. Of course, Max Holloway main eventing this Saturday, and he opened up his media scrum with talking about something recent events and saying it is what it was, and I was like, I didn't move for like 30 minutes after hearing that. I had to think about it. That was a new one. But yeah, we're waiting for our first fighters to step to the scale. I'm imagining. I bet our main eventers, Max Holloway, Calvin Kattar, I think will probably be up early. That's my guess. But I'm just assuming. Jose, do you see any sort of movement down there?
None. I don't even know which direction they're going to be coming from. We're inside the Etihad Arena, for those of you who aren't aware. So this is the first event that's happening in this arena. We're going to get a tour right after the weigh-ins, but I have no concept of where the fighters are being held, which direction they're coming out of, or anything.
Yes, that's correct. This is the last time it was at the Flash Forum. I think they called the Flash Forum on Yas Island. You're still on Yas Island, but now on Etihad Arena, and there will be fans in
maybe a stone's throw away from the Flash Forum too. Like if you walk outside, you can see the Flash Forum. Yeah.
So we'll have our graphic. You guys just saw the graphic; it was just on the screen before, but we will periodically be showing the graphic, showing who's weighed in, if anyone's missed weight. So please, in the YouTube comments, you do not need to ask, has this person weighed in, or thank you, right there. It is the information will be there for you. We will not leave you hanging in that regard. So we are. Yeah, I see someone in the comments saying 3:59 over here. Yes, I heard that 3:59 in the morning.
It's pretty short. So.
How's it? Yeah.
Well, what's up? Sorry, someone was asking a question inside the room.
Aiden Oliveira is asking, anyone looking forward to Ponzinibbio's return? Yeah, I imagine a lot of people are. Sound off in the comments if you're excited about the return of the pride of Argentina, Santiago Ponzinibbio, who fights for the first time in over 2 years for a variety of maladies. There was some sort of infection in his bones, which sounds quite horrible. In addition to other injuries that he suffered again over the last 2 years. And all this coming off a career best win over Neil Magny, again, about 2 years ago, a fourth round finish with Neil Magny. And then, Ponzinibbio has kind of been off the map, but he seems to be in good spirits, seems to be healthy, and ready to fight on the main card on Saturday. Got some. Oh, okay. Someone's in front of the scale. So they're just getting ready here.
On hand with the mic too.
Excellent.
Ooh. Who's gonna be the first?
All right. See,
person?
someone in the comments already asking, has someone weighed in yet? Guys, the graphic will show up. Thank you. Nobody's weighed in yet. You do not need to ask. We have a graphic. You know what? Again, there's people who are going to join the stream later. They might not know. Okay, fine, whatever. It's fine. It happens. But yes, we'll keep you updated. We'll run it down as well, probably every 15, 30 minutes. But yeah, we're waiting for our initial rush. We've got on the main card, we've got a featherweight, 2 welterweight bouts, 2 middleweight bouts. We've got some heavyweight action on the prelims, women's bantamweight action. So we're gonna be all over the place on the scales here. John Daignan says, I think Ponzi dismantles the leech. Should be a fun fight, though. I imagine that is the prediction for most people. Ponzinibbio, a very, very technical striker. And yeah, I do think that would be the safe bet. But, 2 years on the shelf, who knows? Li Jingliang improving quite a lot in his UFC career. So and he's got a lot of power.
We're starting.
Here as we begin the official weigh-in for UFC Fight Night Holloway versus Kattar, and we have got some star power right out of the chute. First fighter to weigh in this morning, UFC welterweight division co-main event, the former interim champion, the natural-born killer, Carlos Condit.
Carlos Condit first.
$171, the official weight for the natural-born killer, Carlos Condit.
At 171?
Yes.
Okay. 171 for Carlos Condit. No problem there. He's making, I believe, is his 19? No, 18.
Middleweight division, Joaquin Buckley.
18th UFC appearance for Carlos Condit, and now just the 4th for Joaquin Buckley, one of the breakout stars of 2020, probably one of the most highly anticipated names competing this Saturday.
Now you can tell Carlos Condit has weighed in because there's a number by his name.
Thank you, Casey, for explaining that to people, because we're definitely going to be asking for no reason.
$185, the official weight for Joaquin Buckley.
185 on the dot for Mr. Joaquin Buckley.
Championship weight.
Championship. Find a little shot out there. I don't know if he caught, if our Jose Young caught a stray there, but Joaquin Buckley's ready to go, ready to fire off.
I dodged that shit.
Oh, I get to take the sanitizer with me?
All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC welterweight division, David Zavada.
David Zavada. You'll be fighting Ramazan Amiv on the prelims. Probably one of the sleeper fights on the card for anyone who's looking for something outside the main card that could win fight of the night. Zawada Amiv could be a really, really good battle between two up-and-coming guys.
The official weight for David Zavada, 170 pounds.
170 for David Zavada. Okay, good stuff so far.
All right, next fighter to the scale in the UFC women's bantamweight division, set to make her UFC debut here tomorrow night. Please welcome Jocelyn Edwards.
Oh, yes. Jocelyn Edwards stepping in for Correa, who was planning to have her retirement fight on Saturday, but unfortunately suffered appendicitis, so was withdrawn and replaced here by Jocelyn Edwards on short notice.
So what do we know about Jocelyn Edwards? Because I know zero about her.
Is a former LFA title contender. Wait here.
Is she fighting out of the States? Where is she fighting? Where is she even fighting from? Oh wait. Let's see what she weighs in at.
135 pounds, the official weight for the Panamanian Jocelyn Edwards.
135. Well done, Jocelyn Edwards. I believe she's from Panama. Let me just check that. I do believe she is. Yeah. Oh, I didn't hear. I don't listen to John. La Pantera is her nickname. Yes, she hails from Panama. Just 25 years old. So there was actually a little bit of buzz about her even before she got this short notice call up. So
next athlete, she is Sarah Cheesecake Morris.
Canada's own Sarah Morris, the pride of Seychelles, BC, stepping up.
£136, the official weight for Sarah Morris.
Morris, 136. She has successfully made weight. That's big for her. She has missed weight once before, a couple of fights ago. Always good to see a fighter getting back on track.
Heavyweight division, Carlos Felipe.
See if Morris can get back on the winning track. And we have a heavyweight coming up next, Brazil's Carlos Felipe.
264 pounds, the official weight for Carlos Felipe.
264 for Carlos Felipe. The shade under championship weight.
Championship weight. Making a
my
statement.
Goodness.
Making a statement.
He is definitely making a statement. We do not have any matches officially yet.
The main card live on ABC, Alessio de Chirico.
We could have a first official fight now. Alessio de Chirico is going to fight Joaquin Buckley. As John Anik said, UFC on ABC, first time.
So is this fight going against, is it going head-to-head against any football games?
No.
Oh, it's just on. Nice. Starting at 9 a.m.
$186, the official weight for Alessio de Chirico.
So de Chirico, 186. That's our first fight official. Joaquin Buckley versus Alessio de Chirico on the UFC on ABC One.
This fight card was built the former UFC featherweight champion and future Hall of Famer Max Bless Holloway.
Here comes fan favorite, the man who would still be king in the eyes of some fans, Max Holloway. £146, the official weight for Max Holloway. 146 for Max Holloway. He's got that 1 pound allowance for a non-title fight. First time he's had the chance to use that in about 4 years. I think 2016 was the last time he fought in a non-title fight.
The last man who will make the walk to the man who will walk first here Saturday night, UFC featherweight Austin Lingo.
Okay, sticking with the featherweights, Austin Lingo.
We go from the main event to the curtain jerker.
Yeah, Lingo, it kind of had a little bit of a disappointing UFC debut, but he came in on like an insane streak of, I think, like 3 straight wins that all lasted no longer than like 40 seconds.
Was he last year's Hazmat?
145, the official weight for Austin Lingo.
145. I think they happened in 2019. I think he had a huge run in 2019 that got him the UFC. And he'll be facing another guy who's actually had a lot of exciting finishes on the regional scene, Jacob Kilburn. So We'll see which of these guys can kind of reclaim some of that height they had coming in. Austin Lingo successfully weighing in 145. I expect we still got a good flow going here. Did I jinx it?
Anik is checking.
Okay. We're still waiting for the other half of the main and co-main event. So Calvin Kattar, Matt Brown still yet to weigh in, and some other main card fighters. But we do have one official fight: Joaquin Buckley and Alessio de Chirico. Buckley, if he can have another highlight on ABC broadcast television, that would be broadcast network television. I can't remember the designation they use for it, but that would be another big moment for this guy, who again was, I believe, finished third in our MMA Fighting's 2020 Breakout Fighter of the Year voting. I think just for some people, he would be number one.
In the UFC Women's Bantamweight Division, we welcome back Wu Yanan.
Wu Yanan. We could have another fight official shortly.
I was very excited to see Betch Kohei's retirement fight.
A lot of people were, and hopefully we still will this year. Hopefully, if she recovers from appendix surgery, and we'll see her again.
136, the official weight for Wu Yanan.
136 for Wu Yanan. Wu has not quite success her countrymen Zhao Li and Yan Shan, but a talented fighter. Just 1-2 in the UFC so far. But this is a tough matchup. I think Betch or Jocelyn would be a tough matchup.
Kicking off the UFC's first score live on ABC, the UFC middleweight division. He is Punahele Soriano.
Puna Soriano, Contender Series product, unbeaten, and a knockout machine.
Hasn't fought more than a year.
$186, the official weight for Punahele Soriano.
186 for Puna Soriano, looking large and in charge, hitting the muscle pose, and then possibly straining his abductor. 186 though on the dot. No issues making weight there. He will further unbeaten.
The UFC's heavyweight division, Justin Madman Tafa.
Soriano and Dusko Todorovic will be a battle of unbeatens, but we have our other heavyweight of Saturday, Justin Tafa, coming up.
$264.
265, the official weight for Justin Tafa.
265 for Justin Tafa. Now that, my friends, is championship weight. So we got real big boys. And when we heavyweight, your first UFC heavyweight fight of 2021, you're getting real heavyweights. Justin Tafa at 265, and his opponent, Carlos Felipe, at 264. So
the UFC's welterweight division, as accomplished as any Chinese fighter in UFC history, he is the Leech, Jingliang.
That's right. As John Anik just said, we have another Chinese fighter coming up. Very, very accomplished in the UFC so far. The Leech, Jingliang.
170, the official weight for Li Jingliang.
Li Jingliang, 170 on the dot, so no issues there. He is 9-4 in the UFC so far, and coming off a loss to Neil Magny, which snapped a 3-fight win streak. But he's had some win streaks. He's had some real KOs. Santiago Ponzinibbio, a big name, still a big name for him. Possibly really finally climb up into the top 10 of the rankings.
What did you say? He was 9-4 in the UFC.
He is 9-4. This is his 14th UFC appearance.
That is wild. 14
right?
fights.
He was fighting pretty regularly there for a while. He was. I think he's had at least a couple of three fight years in the UFC. So he was doing all right there.
He lives and trains in China, correct?
I believe so. Yeah.
He's
been getting busy.
He's got to be the most, as far as Chinese fighters. He has to have the most UFC fights, I would think.
I think so. Yeah.
14, yeah.
It's probably not close. I'm trying to think who would be second. I don't think it's particularly close. It's not that many. But yes, he's been with the UFC since 2014. So he's had himself a nice career so far. But yeah, won again, had a 3-fight win streak snapped, but has won 7 of his last 9. If you want to look at the math favorably, which in the welterweight division, I don't care who you're fighting. It's pretty darn impressive. Looks like we may have our first break. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here. I'll wait a second before I start jibber jabbering too much.
Too late.
Just looking at our comments. Someone randomly shouting Connor. Okay, always good, always fun. I see a comment. Gabriel said, "If Ponzi's 100% Leach going to get, man, is anyone out there picking Lee again? I didn't. When my predictions come out sometime Friday, late Friday, you guys will see. I certainly picked Ponzinibbio. He's one of the more heavily favored fighters in the card. I think depending where you look, he's almost a 3-1 favorite, which on a card with some pretty decent fair matchups. That's really high. So, and again, understandably so. I think skill for skill, and unless you're thinking that there may be some lingering health issues, some octagon rust, if you believe in that sort of thing. I don't know. Nickster says, Max will make Kattar look like an amateur. Fight isn't even going to be close. Jose, are you seeing that? Did you see that comment?
Say it again. Sorry, I was up.
The comment was that Max Holloway will make Calvin Kattar look like an amateur. The fight isn't even going to be close. Do you stand for this slander against, or libel, I should say, against your fellow New Englander?
I think people are just ignorant to how seasoned Calvin Kattar is. He made his debut in 2007, and for those of you who aren't aware, his first professional loss was on the same card Kimbo blew up James Thompson's ear. So that was Elite XC, whatever.
Dude, that was the network debut.
Yeah,
network
I was about to say,
debut.
this is not like Calvin Kattar. This is old news to him fighting on network television.
You know, it's funny. Me and Esther were at that fight, cage side, and neither of us have zero memories of Calvin Kattar that day. Zero.
Live on ABC Saturday night in the featherweight division out of Methuen, Massachusetts, Calvin Kattar.
Fanatic putting a little extra sauce on that introduction. Also a New Englander, and you New England guys like to stick together.
Yeah, we gave you this country.
Oh, you did.
Oh, you get your country.
Sorry.
Hey, stick to sports. Stick to sports.
Oh.
$146. 146, the official weight for Calvin Kattar.
146 for Calvin Kattar. So both Max Holloway and Calvin Kattar making use of that extra title fight pounds, and we have ourselves a main event, people, for Saturday. I'm probably gonna say Saturday evening a bunch through this weigh-ins, but I should say Saturday noon. Saturday's card. The preliminaries will begin at noon Eastern time, and even earlier over on the West Coast. With the main card beginning at 3 p.m. Eastern time on the East Coast and noon Pacific time. So keep an eye out for that. For everyone who's, again, you're kind of used to your usual UFC schedule, it is much earlier this weekend on Saturday. We're, again, noon Eastern time, 9 a.m. if you're out there on the West Coast. So
Right,
just keep that in mind. I
scale of the UFC middleweight division, one of the true breakout stars of 2020, Phil Megatron Hawes.
Yes.
Big introduction for Phil Hawes. Young man who's took a winding road to the UFC. Pretty much every UFC related path you can take, Contender Series, Ultimate Fighter, he'd done it. He tried, he'd failed, he tried again. He'd done his work in the regional scene, and then he finally made a huge debut in 2020 last year.
I feel like this is gonna be a big year for Phil Hawes.
186, the official weight for Phil Hawes.
186 for Phil Hawes, not a small middleweight by any means. And yes, I think his opponent's a little underrated, Nassourdine Imavov. But yes, a lot of eyes on Phil Hawes certainly heading into this fight. And like you said, probably for the rest of the year, Casey.
Scale also in the UFC's middleweight division out of Serbia. Please welcome Dusko Todorovic.
Dusko Todorovic. Again, he will be opening the main card against Punahele Soriano in a battle of Contender Series signings and unbeaten fighters. Both guys carrying zeros in the loss column into this fight.
Two fighters with not very well-known names within the mainstream MMA audience, but the matchmakers know this is going to be an exciting fight. And there's a reason this is on the
186, the official weight for the undefeated Dusko Todorovic.
186 for Dusko Todorovic. You're right, Casey. Yeah, absolutely. This is the kind of main card opener I think you want. Like I said, two young guys trying to make a name for themselves. I think a nice contrast styles. Soriano, a fast starter, comes out throwing haymakers. Todorovic a little more calculated. Probably a little more well-rounded. So we'll see. This could be, I think most people would say either first round finish for Soriano or late finish or decision win for Todorovic. But I could be wrong. Todorovic, again, certainly has the talent to finish in the first round. And Soriano, maybe he can slug it out, go 15 minutes slugging it out. I don't know. But yeah, that's the kind of main card opener you definitely want to look for. Especially, again, ABC, this is huge. Two guys in their second UFC fights getting to fight on ABC. So good for them. Jack Bowen, Dusko is going to be a problem. No kidding. He has all the talent in the world.
He has a win over Michel Pereira.
He has a win, and that's not easy. Again, if you beat Michel Pereira, I mean that's like beating Ryan Hall. It's like pretty much impossible. Roko Sladic says Dusko by KO. So a lot of faith in Dusko. Again, he's really kind of unassuming. I remember his Contender Series fight wasn't like the greatest thing. He came in with probably the most hyped fighter on his particular episode of the Contender Series, and he won a convincing decision. But it was a lot of grappling, a lot of holding against the fence. Dana White wasn't happy about it, but he did give him a contract. So Dana White and the matchmakers are well aware of how talented he is. And then he had a great performance against Daquan Townsend in his actual proper UFC debut. So very understandable. There's a lot of hype there. And it'll be up to Soriano to kind of take that and continue his own little hype train that's going along. So we are looking good so far on the weigh-ins. Let me just update my own list here, see who we have left. We're down to about 6 names, it looks like, if I'm correct here. We've had Max Holloway and Calvin Kattar both weigh in for the main event. They weighed in at 146, taking advantage of that extra pound because it's a non-title fight. First one for Max Holloway in over 4 years. Carlos Condit, 171 in the main event. We are awaiting his opponent, Matt Brown. There should not be an issue there as far as we know. He's weighed in many, many times. This will be Matt Brown's 27th UFC appearance. 27 UFC appearances for Matt Brown. And also on the main card at welterweight, Li Jingliang made weight at 170. We're waiting for his opponent, Santiago Ponzinibbio, fighting for the first time in over 2 years. Then we have 2 fights official on the main card. Opening the main card, Joaquin Buckley came in at 185, Alessio Di Chirico at 186, and Punahele Soriano at 186, and his opponent, Dusko Todorovic, at 186. So those are official. On the prelims, Phil Hawes came in at the featured prelim 186 to make the middleweight limit. We are waiting for his opponent, Nassourdine Imavov. Wu Yanan versus Jocelyn Edwards. Guys, do you think it's, I have to ask actually, did Annex say Jocelyn or is it pronounced differently? Do you guys recall?
I did not recall.
I think it was Jocelyn. Why don't you yell at
I'm
him?
saying Jocelyn, but I feel like it's not real. Like, obviously it's not really in English. Anyway, Wu Yanan, we'll go with that for now. Jocelyn Edwards, both weighing successfully at bantamweight. Wu Yanan 136, Edwards at 135. Big boys, heavyweights coming in, using every pound they can. Justin Tafa versus Carlos Felipe. Tafa 255, Felipe 264. Ron Willie, we'll get to that question in a second. David Zavada at 170. We're waiting for his opponent, Ramazan Amiv. Sarah Morris at 136, waiting for her opponent, Vanessa Mello. And Austin Lingo, 145 in the preliminary opener, waiting for Jacob Kilburn. So we've got some fights official, and we've got about 6 names that we are waiting for. So the question was, why is Buckley not facing James Krause? Yes, we have covered this story ad nauseum on our website. Our own Mike Heck has done interviews with Krause, done interviews with Buckley. They've been asked about it at scrums. Both fighters have been asked about it at media scrums. Jose, I'll ask you first. What do you think? What's your theory on why this fight isn't happening?
I don't know. I just think they're in 2 different weight classes right now. Maybe the UFC just didn't want to match them up. I'm not sure. I don't honestly know.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Maybe they didn't want Krause derailing like some sort of hype train. Not sure, but I think the weight class is most logical.
Definitely, Krause.
Sorry, go ahead. Is Buckley a welterweight?
Buckley has said he can make welterweight, but he has said he can make it. But
if you remember I asked him that after his last fight in the Apex, and he said if Krause wants to fight me, he has to come up 185. I'm not going to 170.
Yeah, and Krause in his interviews has said something to the effect of, if I'm going to fight him, I'd rather he came down to 170. So it's definitely a major sticking point. Casey, do you think there's some truth to the hype train theory? Because I thought about that as well. Krause is so much more experienced and is such a guy who people are always overlooking. Do you think that they don't want him they don't want Buckley getting diffused by a veteran like Krause?
I would think that would be the main reason. I mean, yeah, I think both of them want to fight each other, but I don't think the matchmakers or the UFC. I think they don't want to derail the Buckley train right now.
Yeah, and again, there's certainly a case to be made there. The Buckley train is speeding ahead after, of course, what I think is the greatest knockout I've ever seen in the UFC. Where how long? When was that? That would have been was that the first trip to Fight Island, Jose?
For this one?
No, the Buckley KO it's the summer. That was in the summer, right?
No.
Which one was October?
Fall.
Yeah. See, I don't.
That's the last time I was here.
So we're about 3 months removed from that, and still, I think some people are, we usually get caught up in the moment then, and they say, a couple weeks down, months from now, maybe we'll rephrase it properly. If you ask me what's the greatest knockout in UFC history, I still think that's probably the best knockout I've ever seen. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
It was a good knockout.
Casey shaking his head. Go ahead, Casey.
It was a wonderful knockout. It was a wonderful knockout for the night.
Mm-hmm. And your favorite, if you had to name a few. I mean, not your number one necessarily, but
favorites. Man,
anything that you would put ahead of that.
I'll go to Francis over Overeem.
Ooh, the almost knocked his jaw off his face. Yeah, that was terrifying. Yeah, the tail. I don't want to put it that way, but yes, that was horrible.
So, Jose, did Buckley say he's not going to 170 ever again? Like he's done at 170, or do you just say he's not fighting Krause at 170?
No, he said I'm a middleweight. Like that was he's like I'm a middleweight. I'm not going to 170. I'm not.
He's very big.
A huge man. I'm not.
He's very big. Yeah, I mean,
what's his height?
He's super thick.
5'10".
As much as I want to see this fight, I'm not encouraging him to I'm sure if he tortured himself, he could make 170. But if Joaquin Buckley wants to just be healthy and not deal with that massive weight cut, I have no problem with him. Never. I would love to see the Krause fight, but I have no problem with that fight never happening if it means that Buckley has to drop an extra 50. He's huge, dropping another 15 pounds.
Yeah. So I think all of Buckley's. I think Buckley fought he fought in Bellator 3 times, and he fought all those at welterweight in Bellator.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So and he fought a guy like Logan Storley, who's a very high-rated welterweight wrestling prospect for Bellator, and I don't remember that fight, but I'm assuming he lost by decision. So I'm assuming maybe that weight cut he felt a little drained and got wrestled for 15 minutes.
Yeah. And let's not forget, has been a division that has had strong wrestlers. Middleweight has not been known for that. I'm sure he'll correct me. I know we have had good wrestlers at 185, but I would think of like some of the UFC divisions, I don't think of 185 as having a lot of dominant wrestlers. So I think you might be making the right decision staying here.
Yeah. That's why, if you remembered when Darren Till did his Q&A before his fight against Keldon, he said one of the big reasons. Pause that.
Ramazan Ameev.
Right. 171, the official weight for Ramazan Ameev.
Ameev at 171. So his bout with David Zavada is now official. Jose, keep going. Yes, you're talking about Darren Till. That one of the reasons he 170.
He said that one of the big reasons was the amount of strikers at the top of the 185 division, and the lack of like Usmans, Covingtons, Woodleys that will just like wrestle.
Woodley. Yeah, if you're Joaquin Buckley, I mean, again, it's not one, you don't have to cut that extra 15 pounds. Two, you're staying away from division that maybe it doesn't play to your strengths. So, good decision from Buckley to stay there. Yes, it may mean we never get the cross fight, but put it on the pile of grudge matches that we never got to see resolved. Right? It's a long list, unfortunately, but we're focusing on the positive here. Someone mentioned Yoel in the 185 as elite wrestlers. Yes, Yoel, obviously one of the greatest wrestlers ever to compete in MMA, but not known for using his takedowns. Yeah, he uses wrestling defensively. Not a guy who's going to dominate takedowns. He probably, honestly, I think he probably could have if he wanted to, but that is not the style he chose. And we're all the better for it because Yoel Romero rules, and he certainly is not grinding out any wins. Okay, Casey, what else we got? Any comments that need to be highlighted here? I see them coming in fast and furious. While we wait for 5 more fighters, Ameev's now in the books.
The Buckley Krause rivalry is still the weirdest thing because it's like we have all these comments like when's Buckley and Krause fight? When they fight? And yet. But neither of those guys have actually, because they're following the man code, they don't want to actually say why they want to fight each other other than say, oh, he knows why.
Well, Krause has opened up a little bit about it. I mean, Krause has said that he's heard Buckley has a reputation for, against sparring a little too hard, maybe not training the way that Krause and his team, that the way they like to do it. So that's one reason they have.
So this rivalry is over that Buckley spars too hard. So
I mean that stems from a supposed attitude problem that Krause has heard that he has. But as far as I know, I don't know if they met. I think they may have spoken on the phone, but it sounds like Krause knows people who know Buckley, and it's kind of it's kind of been soured from there. He's heard bad things, and now that they've kind of exchanged words publicly but not directly at each other, it's only gotten worse. So. I'm with you, Casey. When I first spoke to Mike and I said I knew he was talking to both guys. I said, Mike, can you get to the bottom of this and see if these two can just be best friends? Because I feel like there's a misunderstanding here. And MMA fans, they want to see people talk things out. They don't want to see people fight. I know the guys in the YouTube comments will agree with me. They'd like to see a healthy debate, not this trading punches inside of a cage. It's just barbaric. So, but it does sound like the ship has sailed. But look. After we missed out on Masvidal, Leon Edwards, I mean, that to me is one of the biggest misses of probably the last 2 years, right? I mean, of fights that weren't even booked. You know what I mean? I don't know how they missed that.
Yeah. So I guess Buckley's his last welterweight fight was April of 2018 in Bellator. So I guess he is retired from welterweight.
Yeah. Again, if he has the option of coming down at some point in the future, good for him. Again, you know how guys are. Maybe they hit a snag at the current weight class, and if they're able to drop down, I'm sure he'd give it a shot. But yes, I wouldn't be surprised if we do not see him competing at 170 in the UFC. It just really, I don't think it makes sense for him. point in his career. Anyone in the comments, shout it out, guys. If you're picking Chirico for the upset, I think when a lot of people saw this booking, they assume it's sort of a showcase fight for Buckley. Chirico is coming in with Almac. Let them fight, then they can be friends. This is true. This is the best way to resolve these conflicts. Chirico's coming in 3 straight losses against Buckley's coming in hot off 2 straight second round knockout victories. So I mean, if you want to assume that the matchmakers are kind of up to something, maybe they think that Buckley's going to produce a highlight reel KO against Chirico, but Chirico, really technical, solid fighter, tough guy, has never been knocked out, frankly. So if he's to be knocked out, it would be another history-making moment for Buckley. And I just hope that the matchmakers have not played themselves here. Maybe put Buckley in a trap game where he does not have a lot to gain, other than picking up a 3rd straight victory, and probably gets him a step up in competition. Are we seeing any? What do we got, Casey? No, Jose just saying we don't have anyone of the last. There's 5. We've got over 90 minutes to go. So people buckle up, because I don't know how much of a hurry some of these guys are going to be to get to this scale. We could be here. NL, our face-off next, I believe so. Casey?
As soon as everyone weighs in, then they face off. They wear their little Fight Island shirts. And
that's right. And guys, you stick around on this stream. I believe when the face-offs are ready, just stick around here. We will, hopefully, hopefully that it lines up. For hopefully there's not like an hour in between or something like that. Otherwise, if that has to be the case, we will, stick around as long as we can. Do an impromptu 8-side this week, because Jose unfortunately did not have time to do it. We're on a time zone difference here. It would have been a little too crazy. So you guys did not get your weekly dose of the Jose Young's show, but you could get some of that today. Again, guys, feel free to send in questions, things like that. We'll do our
day and like a whole lot of other stuff.
Yes.
Wednesday. I'm overload everyone.
Exactly. It wouldn't make sense to have had it. But again, we're here now. People ask questions. I just saw someone say, okay. All right, listen. Watch My 666 is a regular viewer, so I assume he's trolling us. Several people have waited. Casey, we can just, please, if we could hit him with the graphic. There you go. Yes, Watch My 666. All but 5 fighters have weighed in, and everyone's successful. No red marks of shame on our weigh-in graphic yet, and let's hope it stays that way. Some people asking, why am I awake? Yes, there you go. Art Alexander 93. Why am I awake watching this? I don't know, but thank you for joining us.
Well, Art, because you're waiting to see if Jacob Kilburn makes weight. That is why Art Alexander 93.
Absolutely, that's what everyone's waiting for.
And look, guys. I will return momentarily.
All right, Jose, we'll have questions waiting for you, I'm sure. Jose will be getting some coffee. It has been 3 weeks, guys, 3 grueling weeks since our last UFC card. Right, Casey? I know as soon as the last show was over, was it Vegas 17? You were like, and I told you, Casey, that's our last show. 24 straight weeks of shows. There's not a 25th straight week. I know you were very disappointed.
Yeah.
I know you said I wish it was like 30. You were like I wish it like Habib. You wanted them to go 30 straight weeks. You thought 24. You were like, oh, it's a shame that they're stopping at 24 straight.
I was so desperate to watch mixed martial arts. I watched some regional Japanese promotion on New Year's Eve. I stayed up all night.
Yes.
Yeah, to watch some regional show. That's how desperate I was to watch mixed martial arts.
I think I heard Luke Thomas and Brian Campbell talking about this on their show. Kai something, and some guy who used to fight in the UFC. Yeah. One of the guys, one of the jobbers who fought Mighty Mouse, I think, were headlining some Japanese show. Yeah. And I'm like, that doesn't sound interesting.
The UFC, they made some tweaks to the flyweight division, and they got rid of that guy. Now he fights in, overseas.
Of course, before anyone that YouTube comments misconstrues our hilarious sarcasm, of course, we're talking about the very super exciting Ryzen year-end card, which was headlined by rematch between Kai Asakura and Kyoji Horiguchi. Horiguchi, probably one of the top 5 fighters in the world, either at 135 or 125, whichever division he chooses to fight in. And yeah, he put the business on Kai in that rematch. He got his revenge.
Did you see that video of Tenshin breaking the world record of breaking broken baseball bats in 60 seconds?
Yeah. How recent is that? It's from December. It's not from like this week. It's like it is from recently though, right? It's like December, mid-December or something. I just saw it this week.
It's semi-recent because everyone's wearing masks in it, so it's not.
Yeah. I think I saw some.
I don't know if it was. I assume it's after his New Year's fight. I was thinking crazy
maybe
to do that before.
Before, that's a good point. I don't know. I saw some, but yeah, if anyone wants to see that clip, Tenshin, I think he kicks. I believe the record is 65 baseball bats. You can just Google Tenshin baseball bat, and there's forum, there's Facebook videos up on it. There's Reddit forums, so someone has the video up somewhere. It's out there on Twitter. 65 baseball bats, guys. I don't know how many baseball bats you guys could break with your shins. I probably, for me, like 1, and my shin would also break at the same time. So that's really it. That's where it would end for me. But yeah, Tenshin Nasukawa, one of the bright stars of the kickboxing world. All right, people. Yeah. Graphic. We've got the graphic on the screen. It's right there. I'll do a rundown in a bit. I kind of want to wait. You guys can see for yourselves. Again, I'll just say who we have left. Matt Brown in the co-main event. Santiago Ponzinibbio making his return from a long layoff. Nassourdine Imavov on the prelims, and also Vanessa Mello and Jacob Kilburn on the prelims. So otherwise, we've had 17 fighters weigh in, all making the mark. Some of them using the extra pound, and some of them deservedly so, because headliner Max Holloway, again, his first non-title fight since June 2016. Lamas? Casey, do you remember? Yes, Ricardo Lamas, the throwdown, the meet me in the middle, buddy. Yes.
What event was that again?
This is UFC 199. So before, this is how long
I was at 199. I was at UFC 199.
Every show. You're at every show.
Oh, do you know what happened?
That's not. And you know why? Because it took place in Inglewood.
I didn't see the main event though. I decided to leave early.
Oh, is this? Wait a minute. Was this? Yes. Headlined, of course, by the unforgettable Michael Bisping, Luke Rockhold fight. The rematch, the second one where Bisping became a champion. Yes, and for reasons that we don't need to delve into, you were some would say you chose to not see the event, but others would say you were not allowed to. But we don't. What a great moment for Michael Bisping, and what a great moment for Max Holloway, the throwing down a star-making moment, and then he would go on to, and then in Toronto would be his next fight, so closer to my place at 206, and he would win an interim title by defeating Anthony Pettis in a fight in which Pettis missed weight, and only Holloway was eligible to win the title. But John Daignon chiming in again. Love Brown and Condit. Glad that this got the co-main. Hopefully neither is finished. Both are my heroes. And then throws in a hearty LOL at the end. Shout outs, guys, in the YouTube comments. If you love Carlos Condit and Matt Brown, just two of the best welterweights of this generation. They'll go down as probably two of the most respected, toughest welterweights of all time. I think, again, 40 years from now, 50 years from now, when we're looking back on who were some of the, again, most respected guys from this era, Carlos Condit, Matt Brown will be right up there. Tough fighters, great with the media. Always good on it. Both guys had great media days. I recommend, again, go back checking out Media Day on Wednesday. Both guys very, very insightful, very thoughtful. These two guys who have seen it all in the business. They'll answer questions about everything, including topic of conversation, especially for Matt Brown, the Spencer Fisher story that went up on MMA Fighting this week. If you guys did not see the story by our brilliant Stephen Morocco, a very deeply researched story about former UFC lightweight Spencer Fisher, and unfortunately some of the health issues, relating specifically to his brain that he has been dealing with in the aftermath. So it's a deep dive. I'm sure most of you have read it. If you haven't had the chance, again, that's the Spencer Fisher story on MMAfighting.com. I believe it's called The Cost of Being the King, something to that. So Very, very great story, and a little bit sad as well. Greaser 614. How long is the weigh-in window? Again, we got about 90 minutes left, so it's 2 hours, and we started about 45 minutes ago. Plenty of time. I wouldn't hold my breath, guys, for this to be ending within the first hour. I don't know why we should have to wait too long. Usually, it's heavyweights that keep us waiting until the late time. But again, we've got a variety of people waiting. Matt Brown again. Hey, look, he's a veteran. Maybe he's sleeping in. No issues making weight. Matt Brown could just be chilling, and not in no rush. He's done this a long time. Watch My 666 says that story about Fisher was immense. It really was. It really was. And again, Matt Brown addressed it. Casey, he said something like, he hadn't really thought about it, right? Like he just hadn't thought about how
he said basically like he's taught. He knows Spencer, but like they just haven't had like that. He didn't know how bad it was, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't imagine fighters wanting to talk about that, though. You know what I mean? I think that the longer you've known another fighter, I just can't imagine it coming up. I don't think you'd want to, you know.
Spencer Fisher was it Sam Stout, his famous trilogy. I remember seeing the first two of those fights, and like they were my favorite fights. And at that time, I didn't know the guys; they were just two dudes brawling. But I remember that fight. I remember Spencer Fisher fights, and like he was an animal. And yeah, it's just read the story. I don't know.
He actually
why are you bumming me out?
Well, I just want to make sure people read the story, and it was brought up this week, and Fisher is my personal favorite. I said Buckley's the greatest. I think objectively the greatest knockout in UFC history. Spencer Fisher's knockout of Matt Wyman is actually personally my favorite. He did the classic. He clips Wyman with something hard. Wyman gives him like the smile, like, "Oh, you didn't get me," and literally like half a second later, Fisher hits him with a jumping knee that just like flattens him. It's fantastic. Assimilated NDN. Fisher was tough as nails. Trilogy fights that he had with Hands of Steel, Sam Stout, of course, solid trilogy in UFC history. Most definitely. Two of those that trilogy put both guys in the map. Oh, sorry, Jose, go ahead.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep. Yeah, you were a little quiet there for a second.
Oh, okay. Spencer Fisher, Sam Stout, one of 3 trilogy fights to take place, all in the UFC, with none of them being championships.
Oh, you said what are the other?
Wait.
Can you name the other 2?
Nick Lentz, Charles Oliveira.
Yep.
Of course, the weirdest trilogy maybe ever of all. Ooh.
Are you counting the Ultimate Fighter?
No, because some of those are
okay. That makes sense.
Wait, so you said there's one more? Is one more trilogy fight that was
non-title trilogy
and
fight?
they were all in the UFC.
Is it like an early one, like a Dark Ages one, or is it?
I think it no.
No,
because Dark Age is like the Frank Shamrock era. No.
Yeah, that kind of. I don't know.
That's a good question.
I don't know the third one.
Do you want to know the answer? It's you're gonna hate yourself.
Give me a hint.
No, because there's no hint that I can give you that will like you'll get it immediately.
Okay, when was the last time they fought? Like, when was the first time they fought? How about the first one? Give me the first time they fought.
The first time they fought, I want to say was 05, 06, and the last time they fought was like 2012, 2013.
Okay.
Wow.
Those are like I don't know the exact years.
Yeah, okay, but around it.
You want me to tell you?
I know Casey will get it. No, I think Casey will get it.
No, but it can't be title fights. I'm running.
I'm looking at the comments. I'll just say this. I'm looking at the comments. I don't think anyone's got it. I don't think anyone's got it.
You want me to just tell you?
Go for
it. Tito and Forrest Griffin.
Oh, there we go. Assimilated NDN did chime in, by the way. I think just before I'm looking at the chat, I know it's on a bit of delay. I believe Assimilated NDN did chime in with Tito and Forrest. So, that's right.
They fought 3 times?
That was a co-main event for Silver Simon.
Yeah, I remember the final one.
Boys, we got Matt Brown coming in.
Oh. That man was born to hit people.
171, the official weight for Matt Brown.
171. Oh, I almost put 170. 171 for Matt Brown. Carlos Condit also made weight earlier, so that co-main event is now official.
Dude, I am so excited for Condit Brown. The only reason I'm not excited is because those guys, someone's gonna leave with, unfortunately, a little brain damage, which Dana White said is part of the game. So.
Oh yes.
So
that's right. When asked about the Fisher story, that was his response. It's she's not the first one. He's like, I'm dealing with brain issues. We all are. It's like, okay, well, it's a bit of a callous response.
But I am so excited for Condit Brown. So that was supposed to be a main event for a fight night, maybe about 5 years ago or so.
No, it was going to be the co-main event.
Oh, co-main event for.
It was originally the co-main event for Pettis, TJ Grant. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, 7 years ago, Casey. Actually, 7 years ago was actually the first time this one was put together.
Yeah, I thought it got bumped up to. I thought it was gonna be bumped up to a main event. But yeah.
And then it was supposed to be on the Gaethje Poirier card, and Condit ended up fighting Cowboy Oliveira.
I think there's a lot of people who almost like a Mandela effect, and I think they think like this fight already. I know it's happened to me multiple times. I'm like, didn't Carlos Condit and Matt Brown fight? And it's like, no, they've never. It's a fight everyone's wanted to see to the end, but no, it just had never come together for whether injuries or they started streaking in different directions. So now we're finally getting it, and I think we're, again, I know whatever people can say. How far is each guy from their respective primes? I don't know, but boy, that's the skills are still there. The will's definitely still there, and I can't wait. This could be an early top 5 fight of the year candidate. We could be talking about this one again all the way at the end of the year. So, and I hope that is the case, even if it means both guys probably get into a bit of a scrap.
They've both been on the receiving end of some pretty gnarly finishes too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Matt Brown.
We could be getting a performance of the night too.
This is true. I in my see distance. Yes, we have Matt Brown. Matt Brown has taken some bad ones. Even his last fight with Baeza from Contender Series, I think a lot of people were shocked that he got put away in the second round.
That one was kind of tough to watch, just because I'm a fan of Matt Brown. But
yeah,
I was like, Ugh.
But he's only 2 fights removed from that elbow of Diego Sanchez, which I think a lot of us thought maybe that should have been.
There was a massive gap between that fight and like his return fight, right? Because he retired at some point and then come back like 2 years later.
Yeah, Diego, and then he fought another Ultimate Fighter alum, Ben Saunders, at December 2019, UFC 245.
Yeah.
So
it's like 2 years apart.
He's a guy. We really thought the Diego fight would have been a nice way for both. Well, not for Diego. I'm sorry, I should say, but a really nice way for Matt. Really nice way for Matt Brown to end his career. But man likes to fight. What can you do?
Condit versus. I have a feeling because remember the Baeza fight was in Jacksonville when Matt Brown was supposed to fight on that Columbus card, which was going to be Ngannou Jairzinho. I have a feeling if he got that Ohio fight, he probably would have retired in his home state.
Yeah, true. Similarly to Indiana, just said he would have loved seeing Condit fight Chris Lytle. That's another fight. Honestly, if you had told me that fight happened, I would have just nodded my head. You could have fooled me to think that fight happened. Michael Fatahunsi says, MMA has risk. Anyone fighting knows there's risk of brain damage. It's a hazard of sports. You guys always like painting Dana in a bad light. It's getting boring. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, are we boring you with our criticism of Lord Dana White? Oh, I apologize, Michael, for sorry. We'll have no Dana White slander anymore on this. No, I mean, come on, pay the fighters more. All right, if you guys are going to talk that crap about how the guys, they do know the risks. All right, they're adults. You're right. They know what to sign up for. If they don't want to become fighters, they can go get another job. But I mean, as fans, why would you want that? Well, that's what I understand. Where's this attitude where it's like, oh, they know what they're doing? Yeah, they do. We should support them. Aren't you fans of these people? Don't you want to see these guys? Don't you want to see better athletes fight more? Don't you want to see the athletes who are in the sport?
I think people need to read that dang story and watch the interview and really understand what brain damage really means.
Also, like, I read it, and a lot of people in like the comments and everything they just read the headline and heard what it was about, and they thought it was like a hit piece on the UFC and Dana. I'm like, the story is about Spencer because and he who happened, and like the UFC part is a part of it. But if you read it, there's so much more in it. It's not just a hit piece.
someone yeah, no, it isn't at all. It's a very look. I know we live in an age of look. We're part of it. We write quick hit stories sometimes. You know, we get a few quotes, we write quick hit stories. This is a real in depth. This took Steven years to put this story together. This is not a quick. This is comments from all kinds of people, all kinds of perspectives. Again, most importantly, from Spencer Fisher and his wife, and people who know Spencer closely. So yes, it's and again, Dana White addressed this week. Maybe he hadn't seen this. I'm sure he said he had not read the story, right?
Or you can go on to our social medias and watch or listen or see all of the awesome graphics that Alex Adams made.
There you go. It's right there. Yeah, guys, the quotes are right there for the taking. So, you know, you could say maybe Dana didn't quite know, like I said, maybe didn't know the magnitude of the story before commenting on it. But
he said he
again,
read it. He did an interview with Kevin Aioli of Yahoo Sports, and he said he had heard of it, but he hadn't read it yet.
Dana very conveniently does seem to not be aware of things, you know, some important things. I think he was asked about the antitrust lawsuit about a month ago. He's like, I don't know anything about that. It's like, that's out, you know, kind of like that's outside my pay grade. And it's like, you're the president of the UFC. You might want to know a little bit about that. I'm not asking you to give me the insides and outs of the legal briefs, but maybe have some awareness that the story's going on. So yeah, by the way, so for anyone who thinks, by the way, yeah, if we're just like slamming Dana, I mean, it's not about that. We're just making criticism of how he conducts some of his business. But I get it. If you guys are fans of Dana and you like the fact that he's the president of the UFC, which is currently putting on shows and was one of the first sport organizations to bring back production of shows. Sure, give credit to the staff. Yeah, if you're gonna do that, please also give credit to the staff, give credit to the fighters, give credit to the coaches, give credit to everyone involved. Don't give me this all this Dana White's messiah that brought sports back, please. That is, we're not that. Sorry, Keith, I got a little fire up there.
All right.
What do we got? I'll do a rundown in a couple of minutes of the weigh-ins, but what insight? What else we got from our from everyone joining? Again, by the way, I was very flippant about that comment from Michael, but I do want to say, everyone watching, thank you so much for joining us. Again, I know for most of you, it is probably some absurd time in the morning. So for you choosing to tune into this stream and watch, we are very, very grateful. It's so cool of you guys to do that. And please, guys, give a hearty thank you to both Casey in the truck and also for Jose for being on site and being in Abu Dhabi for, once again, his home away from home at this point.
Dude, you have no idea. Because I'm in the same exact room as I was in those 5 weeks. Like, I got there, they were like, same room. I was like, okay, I didn't even think about it. And then when I got in, I had severe deja vu. Like, I felt like going home to Arizona was a vacation, and I was returning home to Abu Dhabi. Like,
I was gonna say, did you have a moment? Did you have a moment of panic? Did you wake up and be like, did I ever leave? Can one ever leave White Island?
100%.
Yeah,
100%. I was like, what am I? Like, oh my god. Yeah.
Do you like go in the closet? Maybe you look on the floorboards. You'll find like little etchings of old journalists there, and they just like put little tally marks. You know, just
like pretty much every like Oscar, who's sitting next to me, he got the same room. John Morgan of MMA Junkie got the same room, and like we were one of the few that did the 5 weeks from September, October, and we were just like, oh my god, it's all over. It's happening again.
You should write a book about this someday, Jose. Jose, your writing is as sharp as for anyone who hasn't. I know we're almost in the middle of January now, but we all wrote some great of the year, end of the year award posts, and Jose did a great event of the year article. So if anyone who still wants to look back on 2020 a little bit, look that one up. 2020 event of the year.
Like we were talking, like, because I went to all those Jacksonville cards too. Like the last Fight Island card felt like yesterday. Like I feel like I never left. Jacksonville seems like years ago to me. The
Duval
card feels like it was like 6 years ago. Exactly. I felt like that was like in 2015.
I keep forgetting it happened. Like I as much as I loved as much as I loved commentating on this, doing these these jokes about Jacksonville. You're right. I every time I'm writing articles saying like, oh, the UFC since the pandemic in March has held shows only in Abu Dhabi and UFC Apex in Las Vegas. I'm like, oh no, that's not true. That's not true. They had that 1 week, 3 shows in Jacksonville, which again, yes, Jose, as you mentioned, you were at. Some of the people shouting out where they're at. We got Croatia, we got Finland, Fresno, Scotland.
Can we get the same enthusiasm that you say Duval with these?
Which one? What do you want? Folsom?
Right here.
Just all. Oh, there's so many. They're flying. Liechtenstein.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is Germany. Greenbow, Alabama, the home of Forrest Gump, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I believe his character was from Greenbow, Alabama. Wyoming, man, like these.
Is that Mr. Kilburn?
Yes, it is.
Jacob Kilburn, not Scottish, so I don't know why I did that. It's really early/late. I'm just saying.
145, the official weight for Jacob Kilburn.
145. His fight with Austin Lingo is official. They will open up the UFC Fight Island 7 preliminary card. And again, to remind people, again, this is the first. Some people are calling the show UFC on ABC 1. The main card will be on ABC, and the prelims will be on ESPN Plus, and the main card will also be on ESPN Plus. So if you have ESPN Plus and you're watching that way, your money, your whole card's on there. But if you want to check it out if you want to watch the prelims on ESPN Plus and then switch to your TV, you got your ABC as an option. UFC joining the wide world of sports. It's a historic moment. It's kind of flown under the radar a little bit amidst all the other news that we kind of have going on in the MMA world. But yeah, UFC on ABC 1. We're a long way from UFC on Fuel TV.
Facebook.
What are there? Facebook. Yeah, the Facebook prelims. Al Mack of Toronto, my fellow GTA guys, says the tables have turned, and now it's us who are up late instead of Jose. This is true.
Yeah.
So. We have it was Jacob Kilburn. We have 4 people. Oh no, 3 people. I'm sorry, Matt Brown weighed in. So we are just down to 3.
Let me see those weights.
Let's see them. Do you want to comment at all, Jose?
I just want to see how many we have left. Oh, Ponzinibbio, man.
Ponzinibbio, who hasn't had to make weight in how many years now? So
over 2 years.
So it's 2 years since he's made the weight cut to 170. Plus, all of his illnesses. Yeah. So I hope his weight cut is going safely and he's just relaxing right now and he's a vet and he's just gonna show up at the very end, because then right at the very end you just go straight to the face-offs. So he's just like,
yeah. Fingers crossed. Ponzinibbio is just taking his time. There's also, if again, I don't want to raise any flags, but there should maybe some concern over Vanessa Mello, who I believe has missed weight twice in the UFC, and not by a small margin, unless one of these fights was a catch weight. No, she was 5 pounds over the bantamweight limit for her most recent fight in July. And I believe her UFC debut, she also missed weight. Yeah, she was 4 pounds over the limit for her debut. So some concern there. But hopefully hopefully Vanessa Mello shows up and shuts me up and makes that bantamweight limit. But yes, let's go. We got under an hour left. Give you guys a quick rundown here.
Wait, AK, I have a comment for you.
Okay, let's see it. Jackson, Florida in the building. Salute, fellas. Duval. Thank you, B. Howard. Shouting out from the home of Olympus.
Such a jabroni.
Me, not B. Howard. You mean me?
No, don't talk about Jacksonville.
The whole city of Jacksonville.
No, just Florida.
Oh, he's going after the whole state.
Wow,
oh, stop. That's the home of my Toronto Raptors right now. All right, so I have to have a kinship with Tampa Bay. Yeah, sorry. The weigh-ins, we have about less than an hour to go, and we have 3 names left. But Max Holloway, Calvin Kattar, both successfully weighed in 146 pounds for a non-title featherweight main event on Saturday. Remember, Saturday noon, people. Saturday noon and afternoon, okay? So this would be a main card starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, noon Pacific Time on Saturday. This is not an evening show for those of us in North America. Co-weight. Nailed it. Co-main event, welterweight, Carlos Condit and Matt Brown also used a 1 pound allowance, both coming in at 171. On the main card, Jingliang made 170. He is waiting for his opponent, Santiago Ponzinibbio. Joaquin Buckley and Alessio Di Chirico both successfully making middleweight, as did middleweight main card openers, Punahele Soriano and Dusko Todorovic. So no issues there. Closing out the prelims, Phil Hawes made weight 186. He's waiting for his opponent, Nassourdine Imavov. And then we had Yanan and Jocelyn Edwards, both making weight for a bantamweight bout. Justin Tafa and Carlos Felipe tipping the scale at heavyweight. Tafa, 265 championship weight. Felipe a pound under 264. And then we had welterweights, David Zavada and Ramazan Imavov weigh in successfully, 170 and 171 respectively. Sarah Morris, 136. And we're waiting for Vanessa Mello, fingers crossed. And then preliminary openers at featherweight, Jacob Kilburn and Austin Lingo, both seeking their first UFC win after falling short in their debuts. Kilburn, he fought in Contender Series, did not earn a contract that way, even though I think he won, but it didn't get signed that night. And then was brought in on short notice as a replacement Chris Fishgold to fight Billy Quarantillo. So not a fun experience for him. He did lose. He was submitted by triangle choke. Most people would not want to fight Billy Quarantillo on a full camp, much less on the short camp that Jacob Kilburn did. So we'll see. We'll see with him and Lingo which guy can regain a little bit of their steam. Oh, Chris Derube, Duval, Trevor Lawrence, baby. Yes. Did Jacksonville, did they not just, am I crazy? Did they not just hire Urban Myers as their head coach? Is that a thing that actually happened? That's wild.
Ooh, Urban Myers.
Nope. Don't want to say that, Casey.
Oh, no? oh, Urban Myers.
Oh, okay. Much better.
Okay.
That's pretty wild. Yes, and Trevor Lawrence most likely to be well, no, because wait, Jacksonville, did they have the worst? Oh, they did have the worst record. That's right, because the Jets were stupid and they won a couple of games at the end of the season.
Wait, are we talking Sprots ball now? What's going on?
Oh, I'm sorry. We're talking Sprots ball. Let's get back to him. Well, I mean, you keep shouting my folks Duval.
Urban Myers is
he's got to make hot dogs, right?
Yeah.
No, he's the one whose coach had some very grisly domestic violence issues, and Urban Myers knew about it and didn't bring it to attention or do anything about it. So yeah, don't say Urban Myers in a good name, in a good light.
I feel like I'm getting my college football scan.
Why do you think he left Ohio State?
This sounds like a questionable signing for Jacksonville. This sounds like maybe not the direction they want to be going in. But
he also left Florida on a bad note too.
B. Howard saying, I don't know if it's official yet with Meyer. Okay, so just reports. Oh no, someone said it's 100. Did they announce? Oh, they did. Okay, they announced it on Jacksonville. So there you go. But yes, I'm sorry. We are not here to talk Sprots.
Sprots ball, Sprots team.
We are here to talk
Let's hit
MMA.
The ball.
Jose, have you had a chance to tell the good people of our viewers? You didn't. Okay, Vanessa Mello. Moment of truth here.
I like I scooted closer to the camera as if I could hear it better.
Oh, she is not looking. That's not what you want to see.
All right. A lot of cheekbones.
That's not looking good.
139. Oh, wait, man, she's smiling.
136, the official weight for Vanessa Mello.
136. Shoved it in our faces, guys. Vanessa Mello successfully makes weight. Good for her. See if she can get back on track, get her first UFC win. She's 0-3 so far, but now she has made weight. Who knows? Could be a new Vanessa Mello that we see on Saturday. Now we are Nassourdine Imavov and Santiago Ponzinibbio. Okay, I was going to ask you again because you didn't get to the A side this week, so I don't know if you have a chance to sort of just tell people how it has been a different experience this time around. It's been more restrictive.
Oh yeah.
Let them know.
Oh, sorry. Answer your question, Al Mac. Zero clue. Urban Meyer is. I thought he made hot dogs, so no clue.
I think that's Oscar Mayer.
Oh, sorry. I can't keep up the I can't keep up the day in all
On
these.
the Mac Life, Oscar Meyer from the Mac Life.
But yeah, so where the Abu Dhabi is much more restricted now. Well, I should say Abu Dhabi, like because the UFC and security is much more restricted because Abu Dhabi is very much open. So everyone saw the photos and videos of the beach the last time. We no longer have access to the beach. We no longer have access to a basketball court outside. We can't walk to and from the buildings. We have to be shuttled everywhere. So there's pretty much like we can go from our hotel to the fighter hotel to the arena, and that's it. There's nothing really to do except sit in your room or sit downstairs or sit in another room. It's and like going when you are shuttled from the arena to the hotel or hotel to the hotel, you see regular traffic. Like you see normal Abu Dhabi cars driven by civilians. So it's a little bit of a trip.
No access to the beach. Oh man.
Which is whatever, but it's more like.
Wait. So are you telling me the water park's open and you can't go?
Yeah.
Oh, that is torture.
Not only that, I can see it from my.
Ooh,
my
that
hotel.
water park is so fun. Oh man. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. That water park.
Rub it in, Casey. He knows he can't go.
Like I would love, like I'm not even a big beach guy or anything. I sometimes you just need a change of scenery. I'm like sitting in your room for hours on.
How much time would you estimate you have spent in your room a day per day?
Per day? Well, the last few days we've had like media days and stuff, so it's either media day or it's either media room or my hotel. That's pretty much all we do. So I would probably say 24 hours a day. I'm somewhere in one of those rooms, my room or the media room.
This is that lockdown life, people. I'm going to regret this, but shout out in the comments what you're doing to deal with lockdown in whatever area you happen to be in. I know I shouldn't open this conversation, but we're all here together again. We're all up here in the wee hours of the morning in North America, or again, I know we have watching internationally, so who knows? Maybe you're at a more conventional time to be up watching things. But let us know what's quarantine life like for all you folks out there. While we wait for our last two fighters.
I hear the Connor show is going to be bananas in terms of the media.
Holy crap, that's right, and that's just 8 days away. CH15 asking, why is Breese Akhmedov off this card? That's a good question. It was that fight already, of course, was moved off from another card last month or a few months ago, and was supposed to happen on Saturday. Now they're moving it 4 days to Wednesday. Wait, what do we have happening here?
Nassourdine Imavov.
Oh, Nassourdine Imavov. I'm sorry, I deleted his name from my list. That's right. He has not weighed in yet. My mistake. There we go.
Why do we have a list, AK? Right here.
I know. See, isn't that right? I tell people look at the freaking list, and then I just ignore myself.
186, the official weight for Nassourdine Imavov.
186 for Nassourdine Imavov. Don't sleep on this guy. Again, I know he's going up against Bill Hawes, who's a heck of a talent, had a great debut. But Imavov also had a nice win over Jordan Williams. And he's won 6 straight fights. Young guy, 24 years old. I don't know. I know there's a lot of hype behind Hawes, but I think Imavov is I think he's also one to watch. Russian guy fighting out of France. Jose, I feel like you were in the middle of a thought before that happened, or someone was.
I have no idea. I don't even know what day it is anymore.
Maybe I was babbling, but it's probably better I got cut off. I think I was about to
go back. We were talking about how are you dealing with the boredom of quarantine in Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, I don't see. Did we get a lot of? Oh no, I'm sorry. Someone was asking.
Go ahead.
Was that Jose?
I was gonna say because remember last time my Xbox caught on fire. This time I got a proper power supply, so my Xbox.
Nice.
And
there you go. Okay, so you got. Okay.
It looks like John Anik is standing up. So I've been blasting through Cyberpunk during quarantine.
Sweet. While we're okay, well, you can just cut me off if someone shows up. Someone was asking Akhmedov and Tom Breese. I don't. It has to. I mean, I imagine it has to be something to do. I don't know if it's COVID related. Why the Akhmedov Breese fight was moved 4 days after? I don't see how it can make a difference. But again, my knowledge of how protocol and how these things work and is not like it, it's not the greatest. So there could be other. It could have just been scheduling reasons. It could be the next Wednesday's card, they wanted more fights on it. I'm not sure, but yes, it's a good question. That fight was supposed to happen on Saturday, and then
Omari Akhmedov versus Tom Breese moved 4 days due to COVID-19 delay.
So how can that what is the 4 days? So how does the 4 days help it? What's up with the 4 days?
I don't know. I just read the headline.
Yeah.
I read.
Yeah, that's I think what people are asking is why
COVID related issues.
And exactly, yeah. And CH15, you're right. He said, I recall it being COVID related. You're right, but and that's my understanding as well. I'm just struggling to understand what the 4 day difference could be. But again, I think we're all trying to adjust and figure these things out. So if that's what it takes to clear these guys, and again, hopefully they're doing it the smart way and making sure minimizing risk of infection, then then no issue, of course, with them moving fights around. But it's COVID related is a little vague. So some people a little worried about Ponzi. Yes, the notorious. I'm nervous for Ponzi. And again, like we said, guys, his first fight in 2 years. And he has been dealing with a lot of health problems. Whether that is going to have any effect on his health cut, we don't know. But again, if you guys, we're here, we want to speculate a little bit, carelessly speculate about why Santiago has not weighed in yet. It's possible that there could be, like I said, long layoff, health issues. But as far as we know, he said, he's feeling good during media week. It could just be he's taking his time. There's plenty of time left in the weigh-ins, just under 45 minutes. So it is not as if Santiago is coming in under the gun here. He has plenty of time to come in. No reason to. I don't think there's any reason to worry. Just give it another half an hour. If we don't see Ponzi, then maybe we'll be sweating this a little bit more. Otherwise, everyone is ready.
What is war? People keep commenting Warzone. Is that a video game? Is that something the kids are playing? Oh, okay.
They're playing Call of Duty Warzone. It's a battle royale, a free to play battle royale version of Call of Duty, which I was playing quite a bit until my computer for some reason stopped running it. But nobody cares about that. So, but yeah, very addictive game. I think Mighty Mouse used to play Call of Duty a lot. I think he might have moved on to some other games. But I do see a lot of people saying they're playing some video games, of course. So yeah, really, it's kind of a silly question. What can you do when you're in COVID? Like it's like Jose said, in his hotel room, just play video games and just, I guess, chill. And
I brought 3 graphic novels with me, and I read them all within the first 3 days. Should have spaced them out.
Were they ones you'd already read, or they new?
2 new ones. One I'd already read. That I'm refreshing myself on because there's going to be a TV show on it soon. So I hadn't read it in several years, so I wanted to reminisce. And I realized that this show is going to be bananas. Sandman?
They're doing a Sandman show?
They are.
What? Is it like an anthology show, or are they going to follow the first?
No idea. I imagine they're going to follow the first 25 issues.
Sandman is so good. Casey, have you taken up any hobbies?
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
Have I taken up any hobbies? Is that the question?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's the question from me. Yes.
I did a lot of yard work. I put pavers in my backyard. I had to rip up all the grass and flatten it and level it. Me and Nessie, we got a quote, and they quoted us like $8,000, and I was like, you know what? I'll do this for $800. It cost about $1,500, but got it done. But it kind of sucks now. The edges are kind of getting off level, so I have to regrout it. So because I'm not a professional contractor, but yeah, that's what I was doing. Yeah,
you've been productive, taking care of business. That's good. Taking care of your house. I see Luke Lopez says he's working out twice a day. He's trying to get that Buckley body. Good for you, Luke Lopez. What else we got here?
Watch my 666. You dirty dog.
Michael Fedonzi, who asked the Dana White question earlier, I'm glad he stuck around. He asked me, how is Kevin Lee doing? Obviously, my cousin Kevin Lee. I know he's doing okay, still recovering from some some knee issues, but hopefully we'll see him back soon in 20. And my other cousin Andrea is also doing great. So really, it's we couldn't see each other obviously during the holidays because of the pandemic, but we had a big Zoom call. Me and Andrea and Kevin, the whole Lee family. We're always staying tight. We're always staying tight. So
what I have been doing, and this has been a kind of a lifetime goal of mine. I want to become a morning person. I was like, okay, when I become an adult, I'll start becoming a morning person, and I think finally I'm starting to get there. So 3 times this week, I've woken up at 6 a.m. and went on morning runs.
Oh my gosh,
I'm one of those assholes jogging in the morning. That's me now. I'm doing 4 to 5 miles in the morning, just nice little warm up. Then I come home, have a nice smoothie. The wife makes me some coffee and toast. It's great.
That's so MMA of you. If you want 1 more hour, like if you got up an hour earlier, that's very MMA. That's a very MMA thing to do.
Getting that road work in.
Yeah, that road work. Get ready to go. 25 hard minutes.
I got a effing Fitbit because I was like, man, if I'm gonna do this, it's like I gotta see the numbers. I gotta track this. Good.
Wait, was it you don't have a Fitbit yet?
No, I got one. I got one just because I was doing all this. I was like, yeah,
you have.
I need numbers. I need to make a spreadsheet.
You like to see, and you just like to see little blips and bloops and like, oh, this thing filled up. That means I'm doing well. We're very easily. You need that extra. I mean, you already get a rush from jogging, I guess, but you need that little extra endorphin rush from seeing some. I leveled up. I guess I leveled up in my Fitbit.
My favorite part, but jogging is so you're running and then I hit a big intersection and I want to keep moving. So then I start. So like 6:30 in the morning. It's still dark outside. It's me. Just shadowboxing on the streets of Inglewood at the intersection of Centinela and La Brea. That's me. I'm that guy.
You're like Michael B. Jordan in Creed or something.
It's virtually identical.
Yeah, I mean, you guys didn't get mixed up a lot. James Simon says the farthest I've run is 13 miles straight. Why, James? Why? Why would you do that?
I'm gonna get an opinion on my fellow journalist.
Do it.
Oscar, what's the farthest you've ever run? This is the conversation we're having right now. He just laughed.
Me and Oscar went to Bass Pro Shop together. Tell him about it.
What?
In one go.
In one go, what's the farthest you've ever run?
About 3 miles, probably.
Did you hear that, guys? Casey's laughing at you.
I'm not built for running. Us dwarfs are good natural sprinters.
Casey's saying he's one of those people that wakes up at 6 a.m. to go running now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm one of those people who wakes up, gets on a running machine and goes, no, I'm right, and then gets off it, looks at a couple of weights, and then goes home. I hate running. My legs are too short.
Yeah, I hate it too. That's
funny. For anyone who didn't hear that,
that's so funny.
Oscar is saying he gets up and looks at his weight.
You went to a Bass Pro Shop together?
We did. Yes. It was an intimate day.
Where was that?
That was in Vegas. It was very big.
Oh my god.
They're aggressive, the old Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah, that place is an anomaly to me. I don't think I've ever been in a Bass Pro Shop.
And me and Oscar, we got all sweaty together, too, in our room.
When was this?
When we got super sweaty? Poirier, Hooker, I think. Was it? No, maybe it was DC. No, I think it was DC Stipe.
250, 251.
Yeah. He came over to my room, got a little sweaty, held some pads. It was good.
People, get in your MMA related as much as we are all loving this. What's the farthest you've ever run talk? riveting stuff. Please get in your MMA questions, guys. You got a 40-minute window here while we wait for Ponzinibbio to ask anything. AMAUA, ask us anything, okay, about MMA. Well, I really about anything in general. Again, if you want to talk about Limp Bizkit, I'm not telling you have to, but it's on the table.
I'm trying to find out where's Limp Bizkit from.
I believe they're from Jacksonville, Florida.
And what county is that in?
It's kind of Duval. Really is going to make sense to anyone who didn't watch or who didn't remember the Jacksonville weigh-in shows.
Oh, look, we have an actual MMA question.
I see question. Thank you. Eris Duvlis. I'm sure I don't know. Sorry. What is your prediction for Max versus Calvin Kattar? Jose, you first. What do you got, man? Max, Calvin Kattar. What do you think?
Probably Max, but I should have no confidence.
Casey?
Kattar's unbelievable. Like there's an argument that Max won the last 2 fights.
Mm-hmm. Casey?
I don't know. I'm just super excited for this fight. My brain's saying Kattar. My heart says Max still, because I thought Max beat Volkanovski the last fight. I thought it was super close, but I was talking to our colleague Jed Michoud, and I think I want to rewatch it because I really do think some of my expectations were too high on Volkanovski. So, sometimes when you have high expectations in a close fight, you give close rounds to the guy that exceeds your expectations, which was Max. So maybe that was the case for it. But either fight, I thought Max definitely lost the first fight against Volkanovski. But when I say lose, I don't mean like lose in the sense like, oh, Max isn't the same Max. He's not. He's a shot fighter. Volkanovski he just had a smarter game plan, and I think they're both equally amazing fighters. When they fight each other, Volkanovski and Max, I just think Volkanovski, his style is just is not good for Max. But that doesn't mean Max still isn't maybe the best featherweight in the world. I just don't. Let's see, this matchup with Max and Kattar is gonna be freaking awesome. I'm just super excited for this fight. I'm just happy that both guys are gonna make it healthy and to the cage, and I'm just this is a great fight. It's a great fight to be on national TV too. This is a fight you want to show people that don't watch fighting, I think.
Yeah, it's a great piece of matchmaking, as we like to say. Again, a former champion, a fan favorite. Again, against a guy who's up and coming, will be a fan favorite someday if he isn't already in Calvin Kattar. I'm also going Max, so all three of us are kind of slightly leaning towards Max. I don't think any of us is predicting a blowout. Jose brought up a good point earlier that, again, Kattar, even though he's obviously doesn't have as much UFC exposure as Max Holloway, has a ton of experience. You guys brought up that Elite XC show. That was only, and you're like, why didn't you remember Calvin Kattar fought it? That was only Kattar's 4th pro fight. And he told a story earlier this week about
We got movement.
Okay. We could have Santiago Ponzinibbio coming up.
Well, a bunch of people just started running around. And
Story time will have
that down.
Okay, I will continue babbling until just cut me off. But yes, Kattar.
There we go.
Here we go.
The Argentine dagger Santiago Ponzinibbio.
Santiago Ponzinibbio, our last fighter to weigh in to make the welterweight limits.
Take your time, Santiago. You got 30 minutes.
He could stop right there and just stand if he wanted, just stand there for 30 minutes, and then just take a couple of steps to his left.
171, the official weight for Santiago Ponzinibbio.
171, no problem. All 22 fighters making weight. Ponzinibbio looks to be in amazing shape. So, for Lingo concern might have, certainly did not seem to affect him today or leading up to the weigh-in. So we'll see how he looks on fight night, but happy to see him back in action, competing for the first time in over 700 days. So I guess we should run it down. First, we'll say, guys, if you're waiting for stare downs and face-offs, those will be party woohoo. They will be coming up in 30 minutes. Stay on this stream. We will have them here. We will have the fighters, all the fighters facing off. So please stay and stick around. But yes, if you're just tuning in or you've been watching the whole time, let's run this down. Our final rundown of the weigh-ins. We have in the main event, Max Holloway and Calvin Kattar both weighing in at 146, utilizing that non-title 1 pound extra that they have. Carlos Condit and Matt Brown also using a 1 pound addition. I'm struggling with this word for some reason. Carlos Condit and Matt Brown, co-main event, welterweight, both weighed in 171. Also on the main card, we just saw Santiago Ponzinibbio weigh in at 171 for his fight with Jingliang, who came in at 170. We had 2 middleweight fights to open up the main card, featuring Joaquin Buckley at 185, facing Alessio Chirico at 186, and unbeaten Contender Series signees, who are both looking for their second UFC victories, Punahele Soriano at 186, Dusko Todorovic at 186. Then on the prelims, the featured prelim bout, another middleweight encounter, Nassourdine Imavov came in at 186, Phil Haas came in at 186. We have a bantamweight fight with Yanan coming in at 136 against short notice replacement Jocelyn Edwards, 135. The 25-year-old Panamanian stepping in for Bechkoheya, who was originally scheduled to fight but had to bow due to appendicitis. She had surgery and hopefully recovering from that now. Heavyweights on the preliminaries. Justin Tafa and Carlos Felipe both successfully made weight. Tafa 265 right at the limit. Felipe 264 pound under. David Zavada and Ramazan Amiv both made weight for their welterweight fight. Zavada at 170, Amiv at 171. Sarah Morris, 136 for her bantamweight bout with Vanessa Mello, who came in at 136. And then opening the preliminary card on ESPN Plus, Jacob Kilburn made 145, and Austin Lingo also made 145. So that featherweight bout is official. 22 for 22. Everyone successfully making weight for the first UFC card of 2021. So good news all around. Congratulations to all the fighters for making weight. Hopefully there's no complications between now and Saturday, and we get to see all these guys and gals step into the cage. But yes, and a reminder again, broadcasting reminder to everyone in North America: this is not an evening show. This will begin at 12 noon Eastern Time, 9 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock in the morning Pacific on ESPN Plus. Those will be the prelims, and then the main card begins around 3 p.m. Eastern Time, noon Pacific, on ABC and also on ESPN Plus. So keep in mind, again, guys, not an evening card. Very, very early Saturday. Please don't miss out because this card looks pretty decent, Casey.
Oh, this is an excellent fight night card. This is I'm outside of these crazy weigh-in times, but for fans, this is exciting. Wake up a Saturday morning, watch cage punching. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looking forward to it. And are you looking forward to next Wednesday's card, Casey, which I think will start at 6 a.m.? No. Oh, well, I mean, you know what? You're a morning guy now, though.
I'm a morning guy.
That's right around That's right around when you wake up.
Yeah, fights.
It's perfect.
Oh, cool.
I guess I got to fire off a tweet here. So Jose, so it's happening. They're not waiting 30 minutes, right? It's happening right now.
No, 30 minutes. They said
no,
that's what John.
You're gonna wait 30. Oh, and we got a little crowd.
I was just moving to a more censored location.
Yeah.
For the weigh-in.
Okay. Excellent. I gotta just fire out. Let's read here.
So, you guys want to put the hold music on and come back in 30 minutes or 27 minutes?
Sure.
Okay.
25.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching the weigh-ins, guys. Thanks for watching the weigh-ins. Stick around, please. We're not going anywhere. Stick around on the stream. We're just going to take ourselves a little break. Listen to the sweet, sweet music that you chosen, carefully culled by the human.
Curated.
So I streamed the talent media day yesterday for the site, and people were very upset that there was no music.
Oh well, here it is. Stick around, guys. Stare down coming in about 25 minutes.
Nothing more. And that's another thing.
My camera's over there. Like, I was standing right now. It was on my camera. I was standing right next to Oscar. Oh no, I'm gonna stand in front of my camera. Dude. I'm gonna stand right here. We're gonna get bored of it. And then cleans him in the head. And then he drops down. He's picking up a boulder. No. She was next to us, and she was like this, like. In what? Remember, you're using logic, and these people weren't using logic. Is Munir gonna do good views for us in this part of the world? And he has a beautiful voice.
How are you enjoying the music, AK?
I love it. So soothing.
And then the voice like that. I don't know, I enjoy it on the last one. Yes, he is.
I'll mention it in the sit down as well.
Well, it is 3 a.m. in Inglewood, California. What time is it where you are?
It is 6 a.m., which is when you would be getting up. I have to go to the dentist this morning, so I'm gonna get a little bit of sleep in before I have to drive. It's a quick drive. It's like 10 minutes away.
You coming back for the?
Am I on camera right now?
Yeah.
Am I on camera right now? I don't care.
Yeah, you're.
I don't care. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm going. I'm coming back and then sleeping a little bit again, hopefully. But then back on desk by noon, probably. Noon, the latest. And then yeah, we said what time the show? 1. What time are we doing the show? 1 o'clock.
10. Yeah, 1. Yeah.
Oh, 10. Yeah, 10. Yes, 10 Pacific. Man,
What's up, guys?
what's up?
Well, you know, just gabbing.
Oh, I've been on camera this whole time. Good. It's good I didn't do anything. It's good I didn't do anything too embarrassing. The boys are back. Pelmini, Tetoviering. Yes, we're back.
Also, Dana, can you guys hear me?
Oh, I should tell people.
Yep.
Yep. Go ahead.
Can you?
I hear you now.
Dana's game time decision on a Dana scrum. So we won't know till the very last second.
Some people know on the Twitter that to tune in if anyone happened to tune out.
Are we live?
We're live right now.
We are live, pal.
Supposedly we're gonna get a nice tour, but I may or may not go depending on how much work I have to do. And you guys can stick around for media day.
Sweet.
What's up, crazy HD vids?
The live stream. Oh. All right. Just letting people know. What's up? What's up, HD vids? People who stuck around and saw some spirited debating about some random stuff while we were on our little break there.
Hey, AK. Looks like Mr. Fritz does not care about your.
Wow, you don't. Nate Fritz, you don't care about my teeth, dog? Dog, you don't care about my teeth? Come on, man.
Hey, Kaylee, if I
net.
had to write a book called Teeth That I Cared About, yours would not make it.
Wow.
Are you kidding
That's
me?
That's a cold. No, that's the coldest thing that anyone's ever said in my life. That's the coldest thing I've ever heard.
Wow.
Someday you'll get there.
If I was writing a book
Abu
about the
Dhabi
teeth that I cared about.
Abu Dhabi has darkened my soul.
Clearly.
You said the same thing about Jacksonville. Come on now.
Who's
I don't believe
that. You ain't here.
Who's the top 5 favorite
teams that you care
about?
Top 5 favorite
teams. Yeah, you know what?
Number 1, probably Anthony Smith.
Okay.
Number 2, probably me. I care more about Anthony Smith.
Okay.
Anthony Smith's season than my own.
Yeah, coming in as solid number 2.
Number 3, probably Tom Cruise because they're funny.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me think here. Number 4, Munir Lazez. Number 5, probably. That's a good question. I'm blanking on number 5. I have the top 4 locked in.
Think about it. Don't rush to think.
No.
Don't, we're on the record here. We're on the record. I don't want to
put thought into it. Yeah.
Anyone from MMA fighting?
I don't know. Michael B. Jordan's probably up there in the top 5 too.
Ooh. Yeah, fantastic.
Look how straight these teeth are.
Casey? Casey, honorable mention? Casey Light?
What? Yeah, he can
is Casey anywhere near?
Yeah, he could be in the top 500.
That's all I ask.
You made the list.
There's like 6 billion people on the earth or something like that, and if I'm in the top 100, that's great. I can live with that.
Yeah.
MMA Autopsy asking Jose. I mean, I can answer this question, but he specifically says Jose, what time? Oh, actually, no, it is better for you. Sorry. He said, what time and day will the main event start in Abu Dhabi time? What time do you think about
the main event? Let me see.
Yeah, main event.
Let me pull this up. Oh, let me find it. I have it written down somewhere. The main card will start at midnight my time. So maybe, I don't know, 1:30 or 2, depending on how fast the fights are. UFC Fight Night main card live on UFC Arabia at midnight. And then everything ends at 3 a.m. And then press availability is 3:30 a.m. So Sunday morning for me. So I'll get to the arena at 8. First fight is at 9. Main card's at midnight. Everything ends at 3:30. Everything ends at 3, and then we got the press conferences.
Right. Okay. So it's a little bit closer to you for the time. Oh no, because if you were in Vegas, you'd be earlier than. Yeah, that's a weird time for you. That's a real weird time.
Yeah, we're all like, all the media's like, we're just gonna stay up late tonight so we can sleep during the day tomorrow. Just go to the fight so we can be awake.
Yeah. But yeah, there we go. MMA Autopsy. I hope that answers your question. Hollow Guy said, dude, a good scraper, water pick, electric toothbrush. You're pretty much a dentist. It's true. It's true. It's all a conspiracy. They're just taking my my hard-earned money, the dentist, by scraping around in there. Oh, sorry, people just probably want to stop time with those. Casey, what do we got? MMA questions?
Oh no, zero MMA questions. I think we're over it. I think there's no MMA at 3 a.m. Come on.
But yes, for anyone not in Abu Dhabi and just tuning in now that didn't catch our sort of weigh-in recaps, just a reminder, North America, the prelims will start at noon Eastern time, 9 a.m. Pacific, and the main card will begin around 3 p.m. Eastern time and noon Pacific, not an evening show. And next Wednesday's Fight Island card, UFC Fight Island 8, the Michael Chiesa, Neil Magny card, that's going to start even earlier. So again, for just speaking to people in North America, it will be 9 a.m. Eastern time prelims start and 6 a.m. Pacific time. So if you're planning to tune in to UFC Fight Island 8 on Wednesday, January 20th, remember you got to get up real early. I see Tristan Gordet, long time listener and contributor, asking Jose, A-side live chat next week? Probably not, right? Because it'll be happening unless you don't do it.
Probably not, just because I think that's fight night.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have to be asleep or getting ready for fights, so probably not.
Yeah, I don't know if there's. It definitely wouldn't be Wednesday because Wednesday the card is happening, and then Yeah, no, I sorry guys, I don't.
Tuesday's the only day we're free. Then Thursday,
Yeah.
well, maybe not because we've been talking to USCPR and
Yep.
Casey, or actually, you guys remember we talked to the coaches last time before the Habib fight?
Yeah.
We're trying to set that up again, so we would get like Kavanaugh and then
Mike
maybe
Brown.
Owen and maybe Mike Brown, all those guys, the ATT guys, and then we want to get another commentator day. So like, because DC is now out of quarantine and Dan Hardy and all that kind of stuff. So we might try to get those two. So I don't even know the full schedule for next week yet. So I couldn't even answer the A-side question.
Yeah, we'll give you guys, keep track, keep an eye on our social media and our website and everything. We'll have updates for you when as soon as we can. As soon as we hear word from the UFC, get official word from the UFC. I see our truck has added locations to the bottom of our graphics here. We've got, of course, Jose down in Abu Dhabi, Casey in Inglewood. It's all good. And then actually, Casey, I am not in Toronto proper. I am in Markham, Ontario, which is really
You're Toronto.
It's really the Inglewood of Ontario. So I mean, I know you like. I know it's like when I say, "Oh, you guys live in LA."
You live next to a donut mogul too, AK?
Do I live next to a donut mogul?
Yeah.
No, I don't get that reference.
Then you're not. Then it's not Inglewood.
You ain't Inglewood.
Oh, okay. No, I'm saying we're the Inglewood of Ontario. We lived you're
not in Inglewood. Like
our
lives next to the Randy's Donuts.
Our donut mogul. Our equivalent of a donut mogul would be like a bubble tea thing.
Oh, how close are we to Nassourdine's about to start?
Oh man, literally all the embedded guys, all the photographers, everyone is just waiting. So everyone is set up.
Okay, well that's a good sign.
I don't see any fighters. I would pan over, but like, look at this. Hold on one second. Look at my view of the side. Nice pillar right there where the fighters walk out.
Beauty.
That's a good one.
Beauty. That looks architecturally strong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just eyeballing it from here. I feel like you should feel very safe where you are. What weigh-in, guys, is likely to produce something? I was going to say.
Easy.
Go ahead.
That's easy. It's going to be Matt Brown and Condit.
Why? What are they going to do?
I think it's just going to be like Krokop and Vanderlei. Just stare at death at each other.
Oh, I like that. I think
animosity, just too intense, dude. Wouldn't be surprised if they got four to forehead. Like Dan Hardy and Condit had an awesome stare down.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. That's true. It'll just be cool to see Condit and Brown actually again just face off. To see it finally coming one step closer to actually happening. I know, and Jose, because we always said the policy, of course, during this, any MMA card, but especially during COVID-19, until it happens, we are not getting. Like I've had people messaging me saying, "Aren't you jazzed up that Ryan Hall has a fight in the works?" And I'm like, "That's a lot." March was it March 6th? I'm like, that's a long ways away. Yeah. It's a long ways away. We are not close to that fight being a real thing yet. So of course, I'm happy that we're talking about it and that he has an opponent, Dan Ige. But am I excited about it yet? Give me a minute. Give me a month or two.
Dan Ige, the bravest man in combat sports,
to
step into the cage with Ryan Hall.
And that dude. Can you think of another like Dan Ige, Edson Barboza, Calvin Cade, now Ryan Hall, man?
Somebody hates Dan Ige. Dan Ige owes someone some money, I think. So like,
Casey, I'm seeing MMA questions. If you want to,
MMA questions.
Oh, fine.
Okay,
Stop talking about my dentist appointment.
Just gotta go get his quote unquote teeth fixed.
Oh, I like this from Roman. Do you think the winner of Cyril Gane and Yair Rozenstruik will get a title shot after Jones?
So it's assuming it's Stipe versus Francis, then that winner versus Jones, and then that winner versus the winner of Gane Yair. Is that what we're saying?
No. Yeah, but I don't think that's the case at all.
I don't think so either.
What do you think, Jose? Why?
I think because you got Volkov Overeem out there too, and if Stipe loses to Francis, that opens a trilogy, or the winner of this Gane Jairzinho fight could fight Stipe for a number one contender shot.
For number one contender, okay, right. If Stipe loses, right?
Might lose. I think it's not
He might
hold. Oscar looks at me like I'm crazy. But Overeem's been on a tear. Volkov's been on a good run. But Gane and Jairzinho are right there.
Yeah, I think
in the building.
I think the winner of Gane Yair will face Overeem. So it might be a Yair Overeem rematch.
Okay.
And
I also would not hate if Stipe rematched Overeem too. Wouldn't hate that either.
Yeah.
If Stipe loses.
It would be nice to see the Reem get one more shot. Get one more shot of world title. I like the narrative. He's kind of built the narrative himself. Here we go, people. Here we go. Dana here to make sure.
As soon as you walk into a building, everyone just runs to their cameras.
That's what happens when I show up.
I was gonna say, I think Casey doesn't have to imagine.
Yeah, I've seen it. Oh yeah.
All right, thank y'all for sticking around. Welcome to the Way in UFC Fight
What about Blade? Yeah, Blade.
We're ready to go. We will begin with the prelims, which you can see live, wall to wall on ESPN Plus. First down the chute in the UFC featherweight division, Jacob Kilburn versus Austin Lingo.
Jacob Kilburn, Austin Lingo, opening up the main preliminary card. At featherweight. Here they come.
Oh God! Don't do it. Jocelyn never does that front facing.
All right, next prelim in the UFC women's bantamweight division, Sarah Morris versus Vanessa Melo.
Canada's Sarah Morris versus Brazil's Vanessa Melo. Both looking to rebound from losses. Melo looking for her first UFC win, actually. Her first UFC win in 4 tries.
All right, next up, the first of 3 welterweight fights on the card here tomorrow will be David Zavada versus Ramazan Emeev.
David Zavada and Ramazan Emeev is one of my sleeper picks. Emeev, of course, looking really good, 4-1 in the UFC so far. Zavada only got his first win in 3 tries, but he's faced some stiff competition. Zavada has fought Danny Roberts, Li Jingliang, and he just beat Abubakar Nurmagomedov.
All right, now we'll bring out the heavyweights, Carlos Felipe versus Justin Tafa.
Heavyweights. Justin Tafa coming in at 265. Carlos Felipe coming in at 264. Tafa, I don't think has ever gone to a decision. I think all his fights have ended in a knockout, win or lose. So could be some excitement here. Hands in his pockets, very casual.
All right, moving on now to the UFC women's bantamweight division, Wu Yanan versus Jocelyn Edwards.
Jocelyn Edwards.
That's what I thought. Wu Yanan, just 24 years old. Just won 2 in the UFC so far, but a lot of potential. Coming off a tough loss to Mizuki, very talented fighter. And Jocelyn Edwards stepping in on short notice. She's only 25 years old from Panama, replacing Betch Correia, who had a bout of appendicitis, unfortunately.
All right, and our featured prelim in the UFC's middleweight division, how good is this? Phil Hawes versus Nassourdine Imavov.
The featured prelim with Phil Hawes taking a winding road to the UFC, but he made it, had a great debut in 2020. Our own Casey Leiden says he's going to have a big 2021. But facing, I think, some people they're overlooking Nassourdine Imavov, fighting out of France by way of Russia.
And with that, we get to the main card for the first UFC Fight Night live on ABC. First out of the shoot, the middleweight division, it'll be 2 undefeated fighters, Punahele Soriano versus Dusko Todorovic.
This will be your answer to a trivia question someday. Who are the first 2 UFC fighters to compete on ABC? It is Punahele Soriano and Dusko Todorovic, both from the Contender Series, both undefeated, both looking for UFC win number 2.
Also on the main card at middleweight, Joaquin Buckley versus Alessio de Chirico.
De Chirico, really just looking for a win here. He's lost 3 straight. Buckley looking to carry over the crazy momentum that he built up in 2020 as one of last year's breakout fighters. Oh, very aggressive.
All right, next up we get to a features bout in the UFC welterweight division, Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Jingliang.
Santiago Ponzinibbio making his comeback, fighting for the first time since November 17th, 2018, and just the second fight since December 16th, 2017. So it's been a rough go for Ponzinibbio, a very talented guy, someone who should be in the top 10 after beating Neil Magny, but it was so long ago. Very cordial way in with the Leech, Jingliang. Oh, that's a nice. Oh, and at least help me on the Argentinian legend, of course.
And a very awkward Dana White.
I don't know. He probably can't see what they're holding up.
Former UFC interim welterweight champion Carlos Condit versus Matt Brown.
Ooh, this fight rules.
Yeah, it's Reggaeton Air Horn. Welterweight fan favorites Carlos Condit and Matt Brown.
It's pronounced
Over.
reggaeton.
There we go. Over 40 UFC fights combined. This is one people have wanted to see for a long time.
Back away, Dana. Oh, I just want let's get these guys just staring down for like hours.
Yeah, as Jose predicted, pure fire in their eyes.
Our UFC featherweight main event, the former decorated champion and now #1 contender Max Bless Holloway versus 6th ranked Calvin Kattar.
Now our main event, Max Holloway, Calvin Kattar. Max Holloway in his first non-title fight since UFC 199 in June 2016. Calvin Kattar, his second straight main event, looking to take that spot and get himself a title shot.
All right, we are official, folks. What a headliner we have got in store for you live
Calvin,
tomorrow night.
face forward.
Oh, no.
Kattar doesn't have that big main event experience. You know, you got to face forward after the
Yeah,
big
it's only a second time. It's only a second
Hey,
time.
hey, it just matters what you do on Saturday, but you know, let's work on those Fridays.
Yeah, and look, it could be the second time of many. If he beats Holloway, we could see him facing the winner of a yet to be booked matchup between Alexander Volkanovski and Brian Ortega, but we all assume that's happening. But yeah, a lot on the line this Saturday. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
We might be staying around for Dana White.
Oh, that's true. Yes,
we're not sure.
Yeah.
But we'll chit chat for a little bit before we turn this off and find out.
If so, sticking with this stream, right? We're not starting a new stream if Dana shows up.
We'll be here.
All right. So yeah, we have a couple of really big fights this Saturday, at least as far as name value goes. Max Holloway, Calvin Kattar in the main event, Carlos Condit, Matt Brown in the co-main, and then a lot of other fresher faces, again, who could be headlining shows in the future. Santiago Ponzinibbio coming back, Joaquin Buckley, of course, again, big 2020. Can he get another highlight reel knockout? I don't know. He's must-see TV, and he will be doing it on ABC, so that's a big deal for him. Soriano and Todorovic, undefeated fighters. So exciting stuff. Phil Hawes could be capitalizing on his UFC debut, a successful UFC debue.
I'm gonna find out real quick. I'm gonna go find out if Dana's coming.
No worries.
Okay.
You were talking about Phil Hawes making the long road to the UFC.
Yes.
I think it's the same thing for Buckley. The guy had lots of wins and losses outside the UFC coming up, but then it seems once he finally got into the big show, he fought Kevin Holland on short notice and was in a bad knockout, but now he's top. Now he's a Fight Night main carder now. So
that fight with Kevin Holland was super exciting too.
And
I know
it was
people
super
have
exciting too. Yeah.
kind of forgot about it, but like he came out he was on short notice, so he looked like a guy with skills who came in on short notice saying, you know what, I'm just gotta go for it, and he was throwing hate. I'm sure if you asked Kevin Holland about that fight, one, he probably had a lot of fun. Two, he probably felt very unsafe during the whole thing because we know how powerful. Now we know how Buckley looks like when he wins. Even in that fight where he lost, he was very, very, very dangerous. Holland, of course, a great fighter.
Yeah, but even though Buckley got knocked out, it was one of those fights where I remembered the guy that got knocked out. I was like, okay, even though I was like, give that guy a full camp, and also I was thinking, just a full camp, that's enough. But this guy is, I don't know if he'll be fighting for a title, but he's always going to be in exciting fights, and I expect to see him. I expect him to have a decent career, a decent run in the UFC.
Yeah, when Mike and I, Mike Heck from our side, we're doing our matchmaking show. On to the next one. I think normally we only match with winners, or main event winners and losers, and then usually winners. I believe in that card, I think I at least said, can I talk about Buckley for a little bit? I know he lost, but I kind of want to fantasy matchmake for him. And I wouldn't have predicted the Impa Kasangane fight and how that one ended, but I certainly knew we would be seeing Buckley again, and that he'd be doing exciting stuff, which he has been. So, a lot of opportunity for highlight against Chirico. Again, coming off 3 straight losses, but again, also potential for a letdown because Chirico very solid fundamentally, and tough. Has never been knocked out. So, some savvy matchmaking there by the UFC crew.
So I think we're waiting back to hear from Jose to see if Dana White.
The USPR just disappeared, so I can't even find anyone.
Fantastic.
I would assume that's where it's. I don't know.
The UFC.com guys packing his camera up.
We'll wait a bit. See if Dana shows up.
Oscar's shaking his head too, so I assume that.
Oh. But yeah, we had some good stare downs there. Again, Jose said Condit and Brown would bring the heat. It really, and as Casey, you said, they really could have. We could have just watched those guys just stare holes to each other for like a solid 10 minutes, right?
I say back off, Mr. White. Let's let these. Let that fury build up.
Sorry, what was I saying? Name, of course, slipped my mind at the time, but. That was a lovely tribute to Diego Maradona by Santiago Ponzinibbio and Li Jingliang helping him hold that banner out. So a nice moment, of course. One of the arguably the greatest athlete in Argentinian sports history, and Ponzinibbio, the greatest UFC fighter to come out of Argentina. So that was a nice homage. Buckley was very aggressive.
Yeah, doesn't look like Dana's coming for this one.
Unless we're getting no Dana. Okay. Possibly no Dana. All right. Well, if he does pop up, we'll probably shoot another stream up, right?
No. If he shows up, nah. We'll record.
Either if he shows up, we'll record it. You guys will see video later. Of course, he'll say all kinds of stuff. We'll have those stories for you later today, Saturday. Whenever we can get those up. But thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jose. Of course, on the ground. Hopefully, he has a chance to get a little room to breathe. Though we do have media. A day as well.
We have a
couple hours
and a little tour.
And Casey Leiden in the truck is playing us off. But yes, tune in later for Media Day, guys. And I'm Leslie. Thank you, guys, for wherever you are, whatever time of day you tuned in. Thank you for watching.
Bah, 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 bah.